That was very nice. Cheers.
Oh,
That was
man.
definitely not very nice of him.
I have no idea what's going on with the volume here, but welcome back. This is our 57th episode. You're watching the Weekly Rant with Jimmy alongside Mr. Mario Ferrentino.
We're at 57 already?
This is 57.
Wow.
This is 57, my friend. How are
Impressive.
you?
I'm
What's
well.
happening?
I'm wonderful.
You got a business card around there anywhere?
Do you have a business card? You've only got 2 dozen.
Yeah,
Here's one.
anyone. Thank
There you go.
There we go. So what's going on? We got your family here in town, right?
Pretty much all
I
of them.
think they're over there, right? Hello.
Say hi. They're around, hanging out.
They're around all hanging out.
Chilling.
So it's Christmas Eve. You got your shopping done?
Hell no.
Of course not. Why would you?
Why?
Why would you?
Is there something to be shopping for?
Halloween?
Oh, I thought it was. Oh wait,
It's the time of
Steve's
year.
not here. I was
Steve-
about
right.
to use a different age holiday.
This is the time of year where you go shopping for Halloween because you get all your discounts
That's
on
smart.
everything.
That's smart.
Otherwise, nothing else.
Okay.
That's it.
So, what costume do you want me to buy you?
A Santa Claus costume for next Christmas.
Okay. Well, you're rounding into shape nicely for it.
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
I love it. So it's Frosty back here. Look at that.
Yeah, how about
I
that?
thought he lit, but he doesn't like. Anyways, let's jump through the rundown here. Welcome back, Mario. We already did that, so that's over with.
It's important. That was key.
Yeah, the Rangers. We're talking about the Rangers. They're riding quite the hot streak right now, as unfortunately other teams are keeping pace with them. Yeah.
Such as the Islanders, namely
Yeah.
keeping pace in the East. That said peace or pace?
That does say pace.
Okay. There you go.
Peace. Pace.
See? Oh.
Pace. A brawl breaks out in St. Louis for the Giants game.
That involved a kicker.
Probably the
Involved
most
a kicker.
ripped athlete in all sports.
Probably.
Nonetheless.
Probably. The Jets lost another one to New England. That's somehow relevant. I'm not sure how, but
Coming from the Buffalo guy.
yep.
The debate. Debate tis the season. We will debate the best Christmas movie of all time.
I'm sure you set this up in order that I'm the one that has to mention the Bills fall short to the playoffs again.
That's awesome.
That was no accident, was it?
Yeah, that's awesome, though. We will we'll go over the NFL playoff picture. We did a little bit last week, but now that it's really winding down, we'll do that, and we'll also touch up with the Yankees and how there's rumors that they're going after Tulowitzki.
And then the big Christmas Jimmy rant,
Oh yeah,
which we're all looking forward to.
it's actually not Christmas related, but it's a rant nonetheless.
Why
Let's go there.
Why you got to spoil it for everyone?
Not
That's
spoil it.
not the teaser. You let them know what I think it might be.
It might be about Christmas.
That's better. I'll teach you yet.
All right. So the Rangers, they've won 6 in a row. I know you can compare. I think the Sabres won 9 in a row at one point a couple weeks ago.
Wasn't quite 9, but it was pretty impressive.
2?
It was a good run.
Was it 2 in a row?
No, it was more than that. We're actually 26th in the standings now.
You don't want to be there.
No, not at all. Not at all. But
You
finally,
want 30th.
injuries are taking hold, and they're going to fall back down. So
That's awesome. They suck. The Rangers don't. The Rangers just swept a home and home with the Carolina Hurricanes.
I was so pleased to see that.
I know, because that's one team that you do need to have lose.
Well, no, it's just I have a very solid hatred of Carolina. So, as I said to you at the game last night, anytime you and I go to a Ranger-Carolina game, I might be the bigger Ranger fan than you that night.
In which I called you out in front of everybody as being the Sabres fan.
Yeah, that's
followed
fine.
up by being the Bills fan.
That's fine. I'm strangely comfortable with that.
So the Rangers tonight face a 17-10-6 Capitals team, who I'll see right now. If I think last I checked it was 1-0. But
It was. I believe they're in the intermission right now.
yeah, they're doing awesome, dude. They're really doing awesome. We were there. Oh yeah, we were there the other night. You, me,
Well-
my father, your uncle had an awesome time.
We did. Well, you said the 6-game winning streak. They're 9 out of 12. And the key is they're getting offense from defense. In their
Yes.
victories, they're averaging 1.25 goals a game in their victories. When they're
Which is
losing,
terrible.
it's 2.56. So clearly they're staying conservative. They got them generating offense from defense. And even Talbot's getting in. He's 2-1 in the stretch. So it's not just Henrik carrying the load.
Here's a little more information on Talbot. Talbot has actually started 7 games this year. He has 3 shutouts. Of those 3 shutouts, they came in the last 4 games that he's played, beating one of the best teams, being Montreal, another one
Yep.
in Philadelphia, and then Carolina. So clearly he can handle the best of the best and the worst of the worst.
And that'll keep Henrik rested as the playoff push gets in the spring.
Yeah, and which was a shocker that Talbot actually signed a $1.4 million deal for next year. I don't know why. I'm thrilled. I love
Yeah.
it. But for his sake, I don't know why. Stepniak comes back tonight. He had the mumps like everybody else in the league. Did you see Crosby?
Yeah,
Hit a
yeah, I felt
baseball
really
on the
bad.
side of his
I
face.
felt really bad.
And the Rangers penalty
That's
kill. You felt bad for him?
No.
Good. The penalty kill ranks among the tops in the NHL, which that happens all the time. So that's okay.
Well, when you got Lundqvist back there, he's the best penalty killer on the ice.
That's why. They got a couple of hopefully guaranteed wins here in Washington, the Devils, and Buffalo.
Well, they're going to need that because if you look at the rest of the next 11-game stretch, it's kind of
it's
rough.
tight.
It's
Oh,
god-awful.
it's
And you got
tight.
6 of 7 on the road. The only home game? Oh, it's the Islanders, who happen to be playing phenomenal hockey this year.
It's all right. Rangers finished the best, one game ahead of St. Louis last year with a road record. They haven't done anything to their team to change that since then.
How'd they do out west?
So-
Because the Western road trip's on that
They
side.
swept the crap out of them.
Okay.
They went 3-0. They had, they started with Vancouver, then Edmonton, then Calgary. 2 shutouts in there. One shutout in there, rather, against Calgary. Edmonton, rather.
Oh, so it was the
Edmonton.
Western Canada, so you know, because
Actually,
they got...
I think they shut out both.
Because they got Anaheim,
Edmonton
LA,
and
and
Edmonton.
San Jose coming up. They got the California roadie coming up.
That'll be tough. They don't play well against them, especially going back to 3 years ago, I think it was, in England when they opened up against the Ducks and the Kings. They lost against them.
Who are both very solid teams.
Yeah, not so much the Kings anymore. Their best play of the year, I think, was that goal that they had that I showed you against St. Louis and Marty Brodeur from the red line
You know
going up
what?
over his neck with a little hop, skip, and a jump there. That was
Until
cool.
they get knocked off, they're still pretty damn solid.
And until the Islanders also get knocked off, they will be ahead of the Rangers for a while.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
I know. I don't like it one bit because they're actually good. I hate saying that.
Yeah, but they do have a 7-game roadie coming up, so their fortunes could turn pretty quick.
They lost 3 in a row at one
Thank
point.
God.
Well, no, this is before their 4-game winning streak. They just
Oh, I don't know.
They lost 3 in a row, and those are the coolest losses for me because I hate them. They were up 3-0 in the first period against St. Louis,
Yeah.
blew that lead. Then they were up 2-0, I believe, against St. Louis in the second game. They lost that game 6-4, I think it was, so that was great. They lost the game in
St.
between
Louis is
there.
stacked, though.
They're good. They're a much better team. And CPO disagreed, but I think they actually are a much better team. When you compare the Islanders to a Western Conference team, you can't compare
No.
the fact that they're in the West, being St.
Different
Louis.
conference, different hockey.
Totally different style of play. So when you see a team with a relevant record, or with a record that's close to theirs, if you will, it's not near as good as the Islanders at all. It's much better. So when you have the Western Conference, you have the powerhouses. You have your
San Jose.
Blackhawks. Yeah, you have San Jose. You have Blackhawks, the Kings. You have Dallas, who's doing awesome things right now. It's these teams that are much better. So when you go up against the Islanders, you think, oh, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. No, it's not. They're probably going to walk all over them, except they did play Chicago. And they did go into Detroit. They lost both of those games. But,
Sounds like you're already predicting a Western Conference Stanley Cup champion this year.
yeah, the Blackhawks.
Homer.
Anyways, one of the biggest reasons for their success is the fourth line, which is Brock Nelson, you got Strom, and you got, what's the other one? Anders Lee. 27 goals up to this point. Up to this point last year, 3 goals. And it's
Well,
just...
not just that; it's also their plus-minus rate. They're not getting scored on.
Right, well that's
They're,
because you have
they're keeping the other team off the scoreboard, and you're getting contribution offensively from your fourth line.
Mm-hmm.
That's gravy. When you got Tavares up on the top line to pop most of your goals, and you're getting something from the fourth line, that's awfully tough.
He's
to
not scoring
defend.
too much. He's not scoring too much, and I like to see that because I don't like Tavares at all. I think he's overrated. I really do. I don't like him at all. I would love to have him on my team, but I just think he's overrated. It's Islander fans who are just hot and heavy on him like all hell.
So where would you rate him?
Say outside the top 5, hands down. I'd say just bordering on the top 10. Just bordering on there. I could take a lot of people over him. But, with that being said, they are one of the best teams out there when it comes to spreading the puck around, getting your goals, getting your helpers.
Yeah.
And, you have 2 quality goaltenders in Halak and Johnson out there. You want to throw Johnson in there? No problem. You want to throw Halak in there? Even better. What I'm waiting for is that string of 3 in a row losses for Halak where he's going to lose his mind. Because he's a head case. That's why they got rid of him in St. Louis. It's we can't have you around here. And that's what I'm waiting to see.
Oh yeah,
He
they
wasn't-
really upgraded that with Miller.
Well, yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Well, now he's in Vancouver, and the Rangers did what I love. They scored 3 goals in the first 4 shots against him.
Sounds about right.
And it was wonderful. You know my opinion on Miller.
Yeah, the only thing missing from that game would have been a Mr. Softy chant.
I don't think they
Well,
know
the
it
Buffalo
over there.
fans at home watching will know
I don't
exactly
think
what that is.
I don't think they know it over there in Vancouver.
They'll learn soon enough. They will learn soon enough.
Anyways, did you catch the Giants game?
I caught the highlights of the Giants game. The brawl that a kicker decided to kick someone in the face.
No. Odell Beckham did that.
Odell Beckham. I read the kicker kicked a ram in the face. I'm not saying Beckham didn't.
I didn't
but
see
what
that.
I read said the kicker kicked somebody in the face.
I saw that while Beckham was down, he kicked Hayes, and then here comes what's his face, the kicker for the Giants.
Beckham wouldn't have been on the field in this because this was during the kickoff.
No.
There was another scrum.
No. The main scrum that happened, the brawl that happened, the one in the second quarter, that was a play involving Beckham. He went out, caught a pass, ran down the line, and they dragged him out of bounds and then hit a lead hit on him. That's what happened was. The kicker was involved because he was on the sidelines. He came over and he came to protect Beckham, and that's when Beckham was down on his back and he kicked Hayes and so on and so forth. And that's when the referee came in, made the ejections. Preston Parker, Demontre Moore, and William Hayes, they're all out. But, it was Alec Ogletree.
So here's my question for you. You're a Giants fan.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the fire in the belly all season long that's now showing up in game 15 that means absolutely nothing?
Nowhere. They don't have fire.
Does that mean Costin's out?
No, not at all. It's Perry Fuel who needs to go. He needs to go. I even think that their new coordinator, who they picked up from Green Bay, it's just two blanks in a row I'm picking up on right now. Anyways, coordinators need to go, hands down. Because you're talking about an offense for Eli Manning that he clearly cannot play in whatsoever.
He was never a West Coast guy before.
No, he's not, and he can't be because he's one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the league. He cannot play a fast-paced game unless you're talking about a 2-minute drill, in which case there's no argument. He's the best 2-minute drill quarterback in the NFL. Regular season, playoffs, he gets the job done. How, I have no idea. But when it comes to the other time in the game, he can't do anything. He can't hit a broadside of a barn. The guy can't. Once he leaves the pocket, he's done. He's absolutely done. And it pisses me off to see that. That's why I want to see NASA play some games. Now that's not going to happen.
Whoa, excuse me. You want to see NASA? So you're ready to move on?
I was ready to move on from
Eli Manning
4 years ago. I hate Eli.
Two Super Bowls, and you are ready to cast him to the curb, knowing a third of the league cannot find. Arizona's down to their fifth running quarterback, I think. So is Houston. Mm-hmm. And you're ready to just pitch a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback to the curb.
You don't know me as well as I thought you did. I hate Eli. I always have hated Eli.
No, I know you did. I'm just kind of calling you out.
You watch.
So shocking me. You're willing to go so far to get rid of him. I don't like him. You're really get rid of him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If there's a way we can possibly make a bet on this, and however long it'll take for this to happen.
I would love to hear this.
You're going to see Eli Manning be the only 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback to never get the amount of votes to make the Hall of Fame. He will never get in the Hall of Fame at all. Done. Guarantee it. Wish I can do something about that guarantee.
We are going to have to come to terms. I wish to take you up on that bet.
I will guarantee you he will not
take you up on that bet.
Hall of Fame. There's no reason why he should make the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
We might need to get John Daly on the phone because he seems to come up with great bet ideas.
He's driving right now. He's slammed in traffic in D.C.
Ooh. Yeah. We'll have to have a conversation with that fellow.
But the Giants, though, with Eli, yes, finally, he actually eclipsed the 300-yard mark. That was the first time, I think, about 9 weeks.
Yeah, they kept throwing the ball to Beckham, even though they had a huge lead and the game didn't mean anything, which only pissed the Rams off more, and more power to them.
It was both Beckham and Randall. Randall racked up another $150, $140.
Don't get me started.
Another touchdown himself. But, you're looking at two key plays in the game where Randall's touchdown was 50-yard play. Then you had Beckham was an 80-yard play. And on top of that, you had another 100-yard game from Andre Williams. It's a mediocre St. Louis team. I picked St. Louis to win this game outright.
But St. Louis has had a strong defense.
No, they have.
Particularly in the second half of the year.
Right. I picked them to win this game outright. I didn't see it being a close game at all. But then at the same time, you're talking about two teams who were playing for nothing. No playoff implications. They, by the outcome of this game, right, by the implications of the game had no effect on any of the other teams whatsoever. So, the Giants, again, they had another great defensive game. Especially One from Kerry Wynn, who had a sack, an interception, and a fumble recovery. I mean,
it's pretty solid.
Could never ask any more of a player, and he nailed it. But, it's even Mason, Trey Mason, I picked him up in week 11 on my fantasy team as just a third string running back. Awesome pickup. He's been phenomenal for me. He really has.
They sat the starter in that.
76 yards and a touchdown for me. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. And the ejections. Next week, the Giants and the Eagles. Going to watch that game, obviously, but the Eagles are going to win that game.
Yeah, they are.
And then Rams in Seattle. It's got nothing to do with me whatsoever, except that will be playoff positioning for Seattle.
No, they're going to get the first seed.
They should win.
I'm actually not even sure Seattle can lose the first seed at this point, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure on that.
We'll look at that, because I have that for later.
Okay.
But two teams that you hate played this weekend, Jets and Patriots.
They did. And I was very, as usual, conflicted, because I love to see Tom Brady, the Golden Boy, lose any chance I get, but I actually, while the game still meant something to me, wanted New England to win, so hopefully they did not need to play for anything this weekend. However, my team kind of didn't come through. We'll talk about them later.
Yeah, they're coming up. But the Jets, there's all this talk around, as there has been for the past few weeks, on John Idzik and Ryan.
Gotta go.
I think the both of them have to go. If one of them stays, it's got to be Rex if they had a choice. He's still a good coach. It's just the fact that, Woody's not giving them anything to work with. And that's when he hands it off, said, Idzik, do what you got to do. He doesn't give them anything to work with either. They're running out there like a bunch of chickens with no heads. I mean, they look crazy out there. Ivory had 53 yards rushing in this game, and all season long, Chris Johnson came in. Everybody was all, oh my God, we got a 2,000-yard rusher on our team. Great. No, he sucks. He sucks. That's it. He's not going to be even a shell of what he once was, and he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't even close.
You got a three-headed monster back there from Johnson, Ivory, and Powell. Powell was just, they'll throw him in there once every 3 years.
It's the same. There's no quarterback.
No, they don't. That's why I immediately went to
and that's going to kill the running game, because you're just putting 9-8 guys in the box, either one you want, and you stuff out the running game.
Yeah.
And Chris Johnson got his 2,000 yards when, at least in Tennessee, they had to respect the passing game.
Right.
He went to a spread formation, and he's a darting back. He's not 3 yards in a pile of dust.
Right. So with this win that New England had, 17-16, they did secure the first-round bye.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it's not going to work out for you regardless as a Buffalo fan, because they have nothing to play for, but
they're the first seed.
Those are out.
And Belichick plays the starters anyway. Welker, I believe, tore his ACL one year in a meaningless game, 17 games. So
the Jets, as they always do, they had a great defense, at least in the first half rather. They got to Brady, 3 times? Yeah, 3 times, but the problem here with them is that
even you keep them to 17. You still have no offense. Like, if you keep Tom Brady to 17 points, you need to win that football game, and you couldn't win the football game. That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Well, they also lost 6 of the last 7 to the Patriots. Their only win came with that playoff victory.
Yep.
So the Jets don't really have a future at all right now, because when it comes to the draft, they're going to lose Idzik. They just hired, I just saw a few minutes ago, they just hired one of the offensive coordinators, I believe it was, to come in as a consulting move, which is kind of like, well, all right, if that's not any pressure on Idzik saying, hey, you're out the door, what kind of a move really is that?
Is he consulting the coaching staff or consulting Idzik?
Well, it's the Jets themselves coming out with this, saying that they brought him in as a consultant. I'm going to find out who that was. Coming in as a consultant. But you know the Jets, all they want to do is make the headlines. When they suck, they want to make the headlines. When the off-season is their favorite time to make the headlines. That's it. Not during the season for any good reason.
That's how they roll.
That is how they roll. Let's see. That's not the right one. Oh, not yet. Not yet.
That was slightly premature.
Yeah, that really was. Thanks. Safari. Yeah. So, with this move, though, bringing him in, I think you're going to see Idzik out the door, and this new coordinator come in as a consultant. Let's see. Jets new consultant. It is not going to give it to me just yet. I'm not waiting. So, the Jets now face the Dolphins. Oh, here it is. They brought in Charlie Casserly. No one knows who that is. No one knows who that is. All right, so the Jets play the Dolphins in Miami. Win or lose?
That's even a question?
Yeah, lose.
So the Jets are going to lose in Miami this weekend. Moving on.
Yeah, and then the Bills are going to
lose in New England this weekend.
New England.
Yeah. Although, according to the rundown, we have a debate before we talk about that.
We do have debate, and because my speaker does not feel like working properly.
You want some help?
No. Nothing that you have. Nothing that you have at all. What was I going to do for this? I was going to play
That was kind of insulting. I think I want to punch you now.
I'll play this one for the debate. It's the Attack on the House by John Williams from Home Alone.
It is. Great movie.
We'll play this throughout. So the debate is, what is the best Christmas movie of all time? If it's not obvious from the song, I'm taking Home Alone. But Mario, I'll let you start.
Christmas Vacation. I was going to say it again. Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
I could run down a number of wonderful, wonderful parts of the movie, but there's basically boils down to how many memorable quotes and scenes come from that movie. We have the rant. At the other end, and you of all people should appreciate the rant.
I do.
You should. The other end, we've got my personal favorite, Shitter's Full.
Yes.
Which
with the cigar in his mouth.
Never gets old. Never gets old. Never gets old. Even something as subtle as his heart is bigger than his brains, and he goes, "Thank you, Clark. I appreciate that." So you don't even have the bold in-your-face comedy. You even have the subtlety. And we even have a movie that inspired a TV show. Clark and His Christmas Lights inspired that whole Christmas light fight TV show that your sister, my wife, watches religiously and was watching before we even came over today. So you've got a movie that inspired a TV show, has wonderful quotes all throughout, there's a wonderful pro-family holiday message. I'm done. I'm walking off. I'm
you
done.
hit the bell.
Move on.
You hit the bell. You know what with this segment of the show is? It's a debate. So I hope you're not done, because you need to debate your points.
Every time I watch the show, all I see is Steve handing you your ass. I don't know what debate there is.
That might be the walk-off. But you want to talk about a movie inspiring a TV show, that's great. How about a movie that inspires kids to tell their parents or to tell Santa Claus, I want a Talkman, because Kevin had it from Home Alone. And guess what? You get a Talkman. A little thing that he gets to... Tell me you didn't have one.
I did not. I didn't even want one.
Oh, that's bull. That's bull.
I didn't
You
want
didn't want one.
I didn't want one.
It is hands down the best seasonal blockbuster movie to hit the screen.
Just because it had a couple of bad sequels?
No, we're talking about Home Alone. The third one was bad. Everyone can possibly argue that number 2 is better than number 1. Everyone says that. You'll say it to me afterwards, too. But all the toys in this movie are used from the time. So you look at the movie, you see everything around, you want that. And this one, just like that, is all about family. Now, watching that movie, you say to yourself, and this has to happen, that's my family. Everyone can say that. At some point, the family's running crazy, running around doing this, doing that, laughing at someone. And I understand you get the Clark Griswold, but everyone can say that is my family.
You have the exact same in the other. You've got the in-laws, you've got the crazy cousin, you've got the sister-brother feuding all of the time. All of the same family relationships you're talking about are absolutely present in Christmas Vacation. You cannot possibly try and give me that as a point on the board for Home Alone. Never mind the fact I have yet to meet a mother who would leave her son for a transatlantic flight.
Twice. So although Christmas Vacation is, maybe in your eyes, the best, what else is Chevy Chase really known for? I guess you got Caddyshack.
Vegas Vacation, Caddyshack.
You have the Vacation series.
No.
And then you have Caddyshack. That's about it. What else you have from there? I guess Johnny Galecki, who grew up to become known for being in The Big Bang Theory. And then he was also on, I think it was Roseanne as well. But that was not where people know him from. Most people don't even know that Johnny Galecki was Russ, the son of Chevy Chase in that movie. Whereas now you have Home Alone. Home Alone is played this time of year 10 times more than Christmas Vacation is.
I would like to see your facts on that. Can we get fact checker with Stat Boy on the show? Does the Weekly Rant have Stat Boy? Because I have a serious issue with that.
Home Alone. I'm writing for you right now. This is going to be on the internet soon.
Yeah.
Because everything's true on the internet.
You know what? One of the things I love about the show is we are broadcast live, and I hope to God somebody out there, maybe some Tony Grassi, is attempting to fact check that right now. And it's probably going to rain all over your parade because there's a good chance that ABC Family's playing Christmas Vacation right now because they've been playing it about 3 times a week.
That's my point, that they're playing Home Alone instead of Chevy Chase's Christmas
Clearly
Vacation.
I misspoke. Calm down and move on. What's your next point right now?
My next point is that after this is over, I'm probably going to put on Home Alone and have you go upstairs and come back down. I'll turn the TV back on. I'll say, hey, look, I told you. Home Alone is on. Told you. Prove my point right there.
All right, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
So, a couple weeks ago, little family dinner. Some would have called it a holiday. Whole family came down here and we put a movie on.
Mm-hmm.
What movie did you put on for the Christmas season, young man?
I don't remember.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I believe it was Christmas Vacation.
No, I did not do such thing.
I am 98.9% sure that definitely happened.
No, you were watching that somewhere else, not here.
No, I'm pretty sure it was on your TV.
Anyways, again, you're watching the Weekly Rant here with Jimmy and my guest over here,
I
Buffalo
give myself another one for that.
Sabres fan. You can catch us every Tuesday at 8 o'clock at 609-975-9689. You can call in. Facebook.com, the Weekly Rant Show. Right? What is that? Facebook? Yep, Weekly Rant Show. Email, jimmysrants@gmail. Steve always did that much better. So you're here, so in light of you being here, and the Home Alone music going off now. Alright, so the Buffalo Bills, I wish I actually had the shout song for the Bills to play here, but
I would not feel appropriate playing that right now.
Don't you have that?
Oh, I could get it very quick, but we're not going to play that because that is a celebratory music, and this is not a time of celebration.
Absolutely, it's a celebratory.
Unless they announce Doug Marrone was fired in the last 10 minutes.
You just guaranteed yourself as a fan a 500 season. That and a Bills fan should be like, holy crap, yes, finally, not a losing season.
No.
Celebratory.
No, we have that 14-year longest drought in the NFL for playoffs. That's what we want to cure. Another 8-8 season that gets us drafty in the middle of the draft. Oh, wait, we traded our number 1 draft pick for a receiver that we absolutely didn't need because there's clearly, Odell Beckham Jr., a ton of great receivers in this draft. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, let me just circle the wagons there and play the shout.
The Bills just released Mike Williams.
Yes, but we may have released him, but we do get to pay him $5 million against our salary cap next year for that trade. One of the best trades we've ever made.
Way to go.
It was wonderful.
Well, your playoff hopes ended in Oakland last night with that 26-24 loss.
In the black hole.
Yeah.
In the black hole.
Yeah.
You're lucky I didn't actually punch someone at the Ranger game when I saw that score last night. I was very tempted.
I think you're lucky.
No, it was Bruce. If Bruce wasn't there, Bruce, if you're watching, had a great time last night. If Bruce wasn't there, I may have said something inappropriate. It's close enough.
So, yeah, the Bill streak goes now to 15. I don't know why I wrote 16. I'm probably just anticipating next year.
I would if I were you. We still got a goddamn quarterback.
This last game, they just put up 13 yards of rushing.
Sounds about right.
Okay, the last time they did such a thing, if you will, 97 against Tennessee. 4.
Yep.
4 yards.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah, well, who's surprised? You know what C.J. Spiller did?
Nothing.
-4 yards.
There you go.
-4 yards. If some poor idiot decided to pick C.J. Spiller off the waiver wire thinking to be able to plop him in as a championship week fill-in, you deserve to lose your championship game.
And 7 of their 14 possessions were 3 and out. That's the Bills.
That's probably better than their average under Kyle Orton.
Yeah.
And yet, we're going to play Kyle Orton again against New England.
What other options do you have?
Why not play G. Manuel? Why not call...
I mean, well, you're right.
Why not call Tim Tebow, or let's call Washington and get RG3? I'll take either one of those. I'm so upset with that quarterback situation, I'd welcome either one of those happily. You
don't have a quarterback situation.
We don't have a quarterback. That's the problem.
You need to be in a quarterback situation. You don't have one.
I could probably play quarterback just as well for the Bills right now.
That would create quite the situation.
So
question for you.
I can see over the line.
So Terry Pagula buys the team.
T-Pegs.
Okay, his hands were kind of tied. Not much that he would have been able to do. Although he came in, officially, I think it was the 4th game of the season he came in.
Sounds about right.
But now that you're coming to the off season, what are you expecting of him? Not what you want of him.
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, why?
Same thing you do with the Sabres.
Yeah,
He takes his time. And I'm not necessarily against...
Sweet-ass time.
I'm not necessarily against taking your time, except when we have established track records, you have to look at the established track records. There was extenuating circumstances with the Sabres, and I'm not going to get into that now, but they were there from prior ownership. But with the Bills, we had Russ Brandon running the show, and he can stay on as chief marketing officer as he wants, but this chief executive officer title that he had under Ralph Wilson before Ralph Wilson passed was just an absolute joke. Doug Whaley's a GM. The moves he has made, in my opinion, should get the axe. Doug Marrone, his moves, in my opinion, get the axe. We need to make a fresh start. I do not believe T-Bags will do that. He's going to ride the course. He's going to let Marrone play out the last year of his contract, give Whaley a chance to get a quarterback in there. And I honestly feel we're probably looking at 7-9 next year. I'm going to put that on my prediction right now, 7-9. We're going to linger around till about Thanksgiving, and then the wheels are going to come roaring off and win a couple meaningless games at the end of the year.
Now, you say Pagula as far as the Sabres go, and I do have one more question about the Bills, but you say as far as the Sabres go,
Yeah.
Pagula's not doing anything.
No, I didn't say that. I said he took his time.
Took his time. Okay,
He
so
took his
you're
time.
looking to find him, I guess, to do something soon. And unfortunately, that something soon might be, I want you to share this story, might be getting rid of your wife, my sister's dream husband. Sorry,
Heartthrob.
you're not it. Tyler Myers.
It's true.
And in which case, you were up in Buffalo
I was.
a couple weeks ago.
I was.
And you met their GM.
I
And
did
what
get a
happened
chance. Well, the GM, believe it or not, Tim Murray, played hockey at my mother's hometown of Fort Collonge, Quebec. And we got to talking at the bar, and he was, by the way, great guy. Like, he is John Q.
Well, he's watching right
Public, I'm sure he is.
I talked to him before.
Oh, I appreciate that. John Q. Smith on the road will talk to you, have a good time, just relax. And, I did tell him, because I felt compelled, because, they know what they say. Happy wife, happy life. So I
don't have a wife, I don't know that.
Well, but you still need to know that for the future, though. I'm trying to look out for you. As your older brother-in-law, I need to do this.
Thank you.
Okay. So I told him, not for nothing, but my wife really does not want you to trade Tyler Myers. And he laughed at me, which I probably deserved, and that's okay. She does have what some would call perhaps an unhealthy crush, and that's okay. The thing is, if we were going to talk about Sabres for a moment, he is no better than your second-line defenseman. He is not a top pair.
Who, Tim Murray?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Tyler Murray. Tyler Myers, yeah.
But who knows where that's going to go? The Sabres are a whole different
Yeah, they are different ballgame.
conversation. We were going to talk about the disaster.
But I do have one thing about last week with the Bills beating Green Bay. Okay, the Bills beating Green Bay. I think
You're going to make me drink.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm also going to semi-answer this question for you. I think you're going to say this, but I want to know what you have to say. Really, I think the victory against Green Bay at home, which I told you before the game. I think I told you this, but before the game, I would not be surprised if Buffalo won because Buffalo's 5-0 all time at home against Green Bay.
Yes, they are.
But being that game is what game gave them a fighting chance before last night.
They really did.
Okay. With that being said, they did win.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that actually locked in Doug Marrone's position for next year?
Unfortunately, I do.
I think, unfortunately, as well.
I think it did.
That's the last person you want around an organization, I feel.
My problem with Doug Marrone is very simply that he may be good at getting his guys motivated, but he's supposed to be an offensive coach, and offense is the problem with the team. He's supposed to be an offensive line coach, and the offensive line is a God bless American train wreck. And on top of that, the man has shown time and time again that he just looks in the face of all the analytics that proves when he should go for it on fourth down, and he plays conservative, and he plays not to lose. That's got to go. He's got to get the axe. He ain't going to get the axe. He's the first, as you said, 500 record we've had in 10 years. He's going to hang around. And I'm already not looking forward to the frustration that next year's going to bring. And I'm going to be there every Sunday watching the game on the super secret internet feed that I get. And ready to rent a gun and buy a bullet.
Speaking of frustration, aside from these glasses, I keep having to push up in my face.
Yeah,
Odell,
that one's your problem.
I'm going to skip this one real quick. I'll go back to it. But Odell Beckham Jr. I should have made my rant about this. Actually, this is kudos.
Are you shifting gears into the rant now?
No, I'm not. No.
I got excited.
I'm semi-ranting about something here that I want to hear your take on as well.
Floor is yours.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Yep.
Did not make the Pro Bowl. I'm sorry, but that to me comes as a shock and a half.
Who are the NFC receivers who did?
Do not know. Did not look it up. I literally just found this out. You can find that out for yourself now if you want.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to know that.
I don't think
Start ranting while I look it up.
There's not much of a rant. This is just a discussion because I did not select it as my rant. But there's not a better wide receiver who's healthy, if you will, in the NFC. And when you are, like I said, working with one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, in Eli Manning, he's up there, plain and simple, because he can get up there. He has hands as big as Arizona. He can catch anything.
As big
and the guy,
as Arizona.
I couldn't think of something quick.
I like that one. That's pretty good.
But
pretty good. I'm okay with that.
Talking about the guy who had not only just the greatest catch of all time, but he made gloves too. Did you see that? He made his gloves. You can't hate on a man who did such a feat.
Ridiculously good catch.
I thought it was awesome. He was actually recently also talking with LeBron and Michael Jordan.
We can stop talking.
Why?
We can stop talking.
Why?
Because I'm going to completely agree with you. The wide receivers that got selected for the NFC, according to this, are Calvin Johnson, I agree with, Des Bryant, I agree with, and Brandon freaking Marshall. That's name recognition. He didn't do jack shit on a completely garbage team.
Yeah.
No. You could talk me into. I'd be willing to listen to Kelvin Benjamin from Carolina. I'd be willing to listen to that conversation. But Brandon Marshall, no.
With a list like that, I'm surprised to not see Julio Jones on that list. But at the same time,
I would listen to that. But Brandon freaking Marshall,
I don't know. I mean, you're talking about teams. I mean, the Brandon Marshall, you can compare actually to Odell in the sense that
it's a name recognition pick only.
It's a player who's coming from a team that has a garbage quarterback. That's the similarity there.
Jay Cutler, Eli Manning. Who would you rather have?
Garbage.
That wasn't the question.
I'd rather have Matt Forte, who threw for a touchdown, I think, this weekend.
Don't change the subject.
No, I'm not. I'm answering the question outside of your answers.
I don't believe I gave you a
the
above or other.
Other.
So you want neither.
I would have to sit down and think about that. To prove a point that I don't like Eli at all, I would actually put some thought into that.
Wow.
I would.
You do know that Jay Cutler is just simply Jeff George 2.0, right?
It's okay. You just know that Eli Manning is the most overrated quarterback in the history of the NFL.
But he's got 2 Super Bowls.
No, so does every other player on the Giants, though. Can't forget about that. Anyways, the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees and Troy Tulowitzki. There's one thing that the Yankees do, and they check on free agents all the time. And the second anybody gets word of the Yankees checking on a free agent, they just go ahead and assume that he's going to play for the team. And this is not the case. But the Mets were targeting him. They don't have the pieces to give up. They do in all these young arms that they have. But the thing is, the Mets want to keep those young arms. So they're not going to get rid of those.
Didn't the Yankees literally just buy a player from the Mets?
Yeah, they did for like $800,000.
Cash,
cash deal. But he wasn't in one of those good pitchers, so it's fine.
Okay.
They don't have any of the pieces that Colorado's necessarily looking for, and of the ones that they are, the Mets will not be willing to give them up, i.e. Matt Harvey. You're also looking at DeGrom. I don't see them getting rid of him. I don't see them even getting rid of Noah Syndergaard. Those are the top 3 players for the Mets. They're not dumping them. So the Mets, they're off the table. Yeah. The Yankees just recently, in the past month, just got Didi Gregorius, who I just finally learned how to clearly pronounce his name, from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And he sucks. He's a great defensive shortstop, but he can't worth a lick. He can't hit at all. At all.
So, with all due respect to number 2, Derek Jeter, how's that any different from last year?
No, it's not. So This is where the Tulo comes into play, where they think that, maybe they'll go after him. The problem is, if the Yankees want to go after Tulo, they're going to have to give up one of the best players on their team, which is Dellin Betances. They can't do that. He's going to eventually transform into the Yankees closer.
I agree.
Just the way it is. Unless Cash decides to pull a Java and ruin him and make him a starter, which he once was, but hopefully they don't go back to it. And Gregorius is now under the team control for the next 4 years. So if they were to actually go upon this and acquire Tulowitzki, you're looking at Gregorius possibly going over to second base now that Prado's gone, and therein lies your open spot for shortstop in Tulowitzki.
Didn't Troy have hip surgery?
Yep. He had a hip surgery.
That's a risk.
He's
That's a risk.
30 years old. He also hasn't played more than 88 games in the past 3 years per season.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's a big problem. Absolutely. So and he's also owed $114 million. And the minute he leaves Colorado ain't picking up any of that. No. None of it whatsoever. So
when was money a factor for the Yankees though?
It's not. This one is a factor because of his health. That's really what it comes down to. It's not giving up the pieces. Look, if Colorado comes back and says, all right, look, we'll pick up 30%, maybe they would actually entertain the idea of getting rid of Dellin Betances.
Not likely, but you did forget one important factor in all this.
What's that?
You're getting a bat back at third base.
No, we're not. No, we're not at all. We're getting a bat. We're getting a bat. That's for sure.
You mean that steroid guy doesn't count?
Yeah, A-Rod.
I wasn't even going to name by name. I wasn't even going to give him. I was not going to give him pub on this show.
We're getting.
I was not giving him time on this show.
We're giving him a DH spot filled. That's about it. And even at that, he's not going to play more than, I'd say, 90 games this year.
You're probably right about that.
I mean, you got to look. The Yankees are nothing but an aging team. They need half their players to play in the DH spot. And if anybody thinks that A-Rod is actually going to play the field, not going to happen. I say tops 5 times this year, you'll see him play the field.
Only 5?
Yeah.
I'll take that bet.
He's not. He can't do it. He physically can't. They just signed Chase Headley. 4 years.
He's going to play more than
$56 million.
5.
A-Rod? No. They said, I was reading all these articles of the past week and a half, 2 weeks of Brian Cashman, stating there's no chance A-Rod will be seen as a Yankee at third base.
My friend Abraham Lincoln here says he's going to play more than 5 times.
My friend... Can I borrow $1? Yeah. My friend Abe Lincoln here. Looks good right there. I'm not betting. I have a really bad track record with betting. So, just watch and see. How about that? A real man's bet. Just watch and see.
I am already waiting for the fall show next year when Steve throws that one in your face. I cannot wait to watch that. Cannot wait. Steve, I hope you're taking notes. Cannot wait to watch you roast him for that.
I'm just waiting for the text message from him saying you're an idiot. Happens all the time. So before I jump into the rant, I want to do our picks. Miami over the Jets.
Steve's not watching. Should have texted there.
No, he's... Yeah.
That's disgraceful.
Oh, well.
Moving on.
All right, Miami over the Jets.
Yeah.
I have Miami.
Yeah, that's...
You have that
no-brainer.
Philadelphia and Giants. I have Philadelphia.
Yep.
I also had St. Louis last week. That did not pan out too well.
No, that well.
Baltimore, Cleveland. I have Baltimore.
Yeah, Cleveland's down to some dude playing quarterback.
Yeah, no,
not even Johnny screwed my fantasy football championship football.
Will Hoyer's going to play.
He's playing.
Let's see. Houston and Jacksonville. These games right here actually have a lot of implications on what's going to happen in the playoffs.
Houston's going to win that game. Let's talk about Houston for a second.
Yeah, Houston has, in order for Houston to make the playoffs,
they need Santa to show up hardcore.
No, they need 2 losses. They need Houston needs.
But you know what those 2 losses are?
What did I do? I had them somewhere. Tell me Hang on a second.
Please hold.
No, you can talk. I'm not going to listen to you anyways, but you can talk.
I know you don't, so what's the point?
Because I had something on the...
Well, I had a question for you, so there's really no reason for me to ask you. We're not going to pay attention anyway.
Damn, I know I had it too. The AFC
Should we
and
pull
the
a
NFC.
coffee talk reference for the audience? We're verklempt. The Holy Roman Empire is neither holy nor
Do you
Roman.
have
Discussed.
both my sheets? Give me this.
I have whatever you gave me.
And you might have both my sheets.
Oh, that sounded horrible, by the way.
It did sound horrible.
I'm going to retract that.
No, you don't have it either. Oh, well. I had stuff for the playoffs.
If only we had an internet capable device that could tell us that.
Yeah, no, I got that. All right, so Houston needs a miracle. Yeah,
Houston needs a miracle, but that's not the question. The question I have for you, J.J. Watt, MVP candidate, yes or no?
Absolutely. A candidate, absolutely. Will he get it? No.
Do you think he should?
Absolutely, hands down.
I agree.
There's no argument there.
I'm kind of shocked about that we actually agree on something, but yeah, I agree.
So San Diego and Kansas City. Kansas City also, by the way, has a chance to make the playoffs.
Yes,
They got a chance to backdoor in the playoffs. They're one of the last teams that does have the chance.
Yep.
But I do have so many mouses here. I do have San Diego winning this one.
That wasn't awkward.
Let's see. Oh, it's fine. All right, so what are your next picks?
Well, we got a game you and I disagree on. I've got Minnesota over Chicago. You've got Chicago over Minnesota, and I got to ask you, where the hell are you pulling that from? Because Chicago and Jay Cutler checked out about 35 weeks ago.
I know. And
Minnesota and Teddy Bridgewater are still playing. They still got some pride.
I have a theory on that.
I would love to hear this, because I think you're full of some crack cocaine.
My theory is every time I pick Chicago to win, they lose. Every time I pick them to lose, they win.
Does that mean you picked them week 1 against Buffalo?
I probably did.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
No problem. I probably did pick them. Now, let's see. For... all right. Where are they? Houston. So Houston needs the Chargers to lose and the Ravens to lose.
Yep.
In which case, Texans will make it. And then the Chiefs need an absolute miracle. The Chargers, Ravens, Texans to lose to get in. It's actually a whole cluster because the first 5 seeds and all of them
They're done.
are filled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely done. It's a matter of the wild.
I mean, in the NFC, the 4th seed is yet to be determined because it's going to be the winner of that division. How about if you were the Carolina Panthers, who are sitting there with possibly, you're going to win your division at potentially 7-8-1. You're going to get a home playoff game against the Cardinals, who are down to their 3rd string quarterback.
It's the same thing with the Falcons.
And you could, or the Falcons, either or, and get a gift into the divisional round. The easiest path to the divisional round the world's ever seen.
You're looking right now at, it's guaranteed to happen, you're looking at the second time in NFL history where you're going to have a sub-500 team make the playoffs.
I'm rooting for a tie.
And the last one, as everybody knows, is New Orleans facing Seattle. And that's when you had the Beastquake with
Marshawn.
Thank you, Marshawn Lynch. You know, that was in 2010
or 11. But regardless, it doesn't even matter. It's the fact that you're going to have a sub-500 team just because they're in the worst division of football. They're going to get a home playoff game. And here's where I got a problem with how the NFL does their playoffs. I'm okay with division seeding still getting a playoff. But if you're under 500, you shouldn't be hosting a playoff game.
You're absolutely right.
Especially when you could potentially have a 9-win team. You're going to have probably a 9-win team miss the playoffs in the AFC. You could, I think, mathematically have a 10-win team. If Baltimore and San Diego both win, it'll be a 10-win team miss the playoffs, not get in at all, and then a 7-win team is going to host the playoff game.
Well, we both have San Diego and Baltimore winning, so we're saying you will have a 10-win team not make it. But a team that you won't see make it is a 500 team, which I think they are going to finish at, is Buffalo. We both have New England over Buffalo.
Oh, shit, that game's over already.
New Orleans over Tampa Bay.
Yep.
You do the same thing. Indy over Tennessee.
Indy's going to bounce back. They just laid an egg. They're going into the playoffs.
Actually,
They're going to bounce
Andrew
back.
Luck laid the egg. He actually got 0 across the board for all fantasy.
Yeah, actually, for those of you who were watching this weekend, that noise you heard was the second-place person in my league who probably wanted to kill someone after his quarterback threw up that 0. And he lost by a reasonable margin. If Luck had an average day, he would have won.
Then we have Carolina over Atlanta. We both have that. That game was actually... I think that's how it's going to pan out.
I think so, too. I think the fact that you've got a better defense in Carolina, and I think that Cam Newton's going to have another solid game like he did against Cleveland. Cleveland's a solid defense. They're okay. Atlanta is... They're incredibly hot cold. I just don't think they're going to get the job done.
Green Bay, Detroit. That's a huge game. Huge game.
It's a huge game for impact, but it's
for
already
themselves,
been played.
right?
It's already
for themselves. I think it's going to be Green Bay over Detroit. You do too. I actually can't wait to watch that game. Denver, Oakland. Yep.
Whatever.
San Francisco and Arizona. I'm surprised we both agree on this one because this is one that also threw me for a loop. I know Arizona doesn't have a quarterback right now.
Can we talk about Arizona for a moment?
We can. I know exactly what you're going to talk to me
What
about.
am I going to say?
How I was crapping on their defense at the beginning of the year.
I have nothing to say about that, actually, at all.
Okay.
If you're Arizona, why are you not calling Brett Favre?
Yeah.
You're down to your third-string quarterback. You got a good running back. You got a great receiver. You got a great defense.
What more could you ask for?
Why are you not calling Brett Favre?
He's not going to be touched.
Why? I'd be calling Brett Favre. If he's watching the show, Brett, you need to get in touch with Arizona. You're going to the playoffs.
If you're watching this show, Brett, I would love for you to call.
How are you not?
Seattle over St. Louis. That's just going to happen.
Yeah.
The Cincy and Pitt is another one that we disagree on. I say that because we've only disagreed on two of them. This is one that I actually sat here for a solid 5 minutes. I did not know which way to go with this one.
I flipped a coin.
Yeah,
I flipped a coin.
I had at one point, I think I had 3 Bengals on my roster.
Well, that's your problem.
I still do. I had Sanu, who for 2 weeks was solid pickup. I got 18 points 1 week, 12
he
the
should
next.
have been better than he was.
And then I got 0-0, 1-4-0 or some garbage like that. I had Dalton, who was giving me 20s consecutively.
I'll talk to you about that in a moment.
Yeah, he gave me 20s consecutive weeks for, I'd say, maybe 4 or 5 straight weeks. I picked him up late. Had a quarterback on the bye. I said, he's available, and they grab him. He did great for me. And then all of a sudden, one game was -3, which I still won.
Sounds about right.
Then another game was 1, which I still won that game as well.
Well, therein lies the reason why I win Pittsburgh. Because here's my problem with Andy Dalton. Suppose that you are a big 330-pound, 6'7" mamma jamma offensive lineman who spends his entire game bashing against 330-pound defensive tackles and is beating the hell out of one another the whole game. And you go into that offensive huddle, and you're supposed to be inspired by some dude named Andy who's got red hair. That ain't happening. Andy Dalton, I'm sorry, you may be pretty good, but with the name Andy and being a redheaded stepchild, that's not an NFL quarterback. It's just not. You're not going anywhere. You're not inspiring anyone on your team.
Now, the
It's
idea
just not happening.
is that it is in Pittsburgh.
That's even more of a problem for Cincinnati.
It could be a problem for
And
Pittsburgh.
I say that knowing that my brother's wife is from Cincinnati. She's a huge Bengals fan. And Cincinnati's known heartbreak, like the Bills have known heartbreak. But they're going to continue to know it. Andy Dalton's not the solution there. He's never winning anything. Sorry. You're just never inspiring team. Redhead stepchild named Andy's just not happening.
Well, with that being said, before I get to my rant, and this is going to lead into the rant.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay.
I am
This
excited.
will lead into it. No, I'm trying to figure this stuff out. I need to... Hey, there it goes. So it does work. How loud does it get? Oh, it fixes itself. All right, so...
I'm going to back up and give you room.
No, I got to ask you a question to start the rant, though.
Okay.
So there's only one outdoor game this year.
As it should be.
Then you're going to agree with me. Other than the outdoor game itself, the Winter Classic, and the Heritage no one cares about. Do you know why?
No.
Okay. My rant is kind of a good rant here for the... You can sit next to me, you tool.
I'm giving you room.
I don't
do
need
what you
What
do.
are you, jumping jacks during my rant? No.
Maybe. I don't
no.
know. I've seen you throw things.
That's too athletic. So my rant here is actually on the Flyers in a good way. Thank you. Thank you for eliminating all of these outdoor games. And the question is why? Here's the answer why. In 2010, they had sold these tickets for the Winter Classic. Everybody was buying them. They're all happy-go-lucky. The Flyers get it 2011 for the Rangers. And you know what happens? They said to all the season ticket holders, sorry, the Winter Classic does not count in your package. We are paying all of you for one game back. You have to buy separate tickets. Here come the fans. Fans come back now. They sue the Flyers organization. Now, all the teams in the NHL...
That's awesome.
All the teams in the NHL now had to restructure their entire ticket stuff. Only 2 other teams did it. Those were the Los Angeles Kings and the San Jose Sharks. And Guess what teams are playing in the Stadium Series this year? The Kings and the Sharks. No one else. You had your Winter Classic because that was booked before the lawsuit had happened, which is now going to be Capitals and the Blackhawks. The Heritage Classic, which is yet to be determined as the opponent, is going to be the Winnipeg Jets. The fact here is that I am sick and tired of all these outdoor games. The NHL is a dying sport. They need the money. They need anything possible they can get. More fans. Bringing in the Winter Classic was an awesome idea. Awesome idea. And I know you bring in money to your direct venue of wherever you have that game. Yeah, that area is going to make money. That's fine. But most people don't care about these additional Stadium Series games. Did you watch last year's one with Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium?
No, I was too
where
busy.
Kiss opened up.
No, I was
75 degrees.
I was too busy actually living life.
Right. No one cares. No one's gonna watch a San Jose Kings game. No one cares. Plain and simple. You get the one or even the Heritage Classic. That's for Canada only. I love Canada, but you know what? That game has to go too. Focus the attention on the one sole game. But the original game, well, the original one actually happened back in like 1940 something. They played like 30 games actually, a long time ago, all outdoors, and they counted. But the original, most known game is Pittsburgh and Buffalo, where Cindy Crybaby won in a shootout against your Bills, Sabres, in Bills Stadium. They gotta go. They gotta stop. One game only. Have everybody enjoy it. New Year's Day. And my same thing goes for last week when I ranted about all the bowl games. Those are also garbage. I don't know half of them anymore. So you agree with me, though?
Yeah, hit the bell. That was a bell word.
Oh, there. Thank you.
Goddamn right.
So what's your take on that?
I couldn't agree more. I find that lawsuit shit interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened.
Yep, read about it. It's awesome.
I'm going to have to read about that.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome.
That's, if they hold another Winter Classic in Buffalo and I find out that's a separate ticket outside my package, I'm going to be a salty individual.
Yep. Everybody was pissed off. They went after, they sued them. Now they settled outside of court, which was good. So
Reason number 5,932 that I am fully convinced that David Stern sent Gary Bettman to the to the NHL as a way to screw up the NHL and protect the NBA.
very true. Very true here. What are we doing here?
Tell
Losing
me,
something.
it's your show.
So, anyways, we got ending here almost at exactly 9 o'clock.
How about that?
I thank you for joining.
My pleasure.
It was
as
a
always,
good time.
sir.
So again, you're let me hit this play for a second here, and it probably won't play. Oh look, it actually does. Did something right. So
You
yes,
need more technology around.
I need every technology piece I can possibly get. Thank you. You can catch us again next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. It's going to be, I don't even know the date, but catch us again. This is Jimmy at the Weekly Rant. Mario, thank you. Oh, real quick. Not over yet.
Whoa.
I got you a thank you gift.
What?
Yeah, open it.
Oh, dear God.
And do it quick, because we're dying out here. So that is your thank you gift. It is, let me look at that.
What in the world?
It's different from the last one that I once given you. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Nice little pretty bag. It's a nice little bourbon.
You did not have to do that.
Yeah, I know.
I
but
appreciate
did.
that. Thank you. Guess what we're doing as soon as we get off the air?
Gonna, you know,
Yeah, have dinner.
have dinner. Exactly. Oh, and I'm losing this too. Come on, you can do it. Oh, all right. Anyway, so Jimmy with the Weekly Rant alongside Mario. Mario, thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody out there. Do it again. Thank you very much. I really
all,
appreciate it.
good
Thank
night.
you. And thank you for everybody sitting over there hanging out watching.
How about a little stadium applause?
Hey, hey, hey.